Good morning, welcome back to Ladybug Grace. I'm getting caught up on my videos for the Bible in a year. There we go. So I hope you're enjoying this background. So today I'm caught up. Today is actually Tuesday, March 10th. We're going to do Numbers 10 and 11, Psalm 63, John 7, and then I will need to go and do Proverbs 10, possibly Proverbs 10 and 11 in a separate video. So let's get into this. Numbers 10. The silver trumpets. The Lord said to Moses, "Make 2 trumpets of hammered silver and use them for calling the community together and for having the camp set out. When both are sound, the whole community is to assemble before you at the entrance to the tent of meeting. If only one is sounded, the leaders, the heads of the clans of Israel, are to assemble before you. When a trumpet blast is sounded, the tribes camping on the east are to set out. At the sounding of a second blast, the camps on the south are to set out. The blast will be the signal for setting out. To gather the assembly, blow the trumpets, but not with a signal for setting out. The sons of Aaron, the priests, are to blow the trumpets. This is to be a lasting ordinance for you and the generations to come. When you go into battle in your own land against an enemy who is oppressing you, sound a blast on the trumpets. Then you will be remembered by the Lord your God and rescued from your enemies. Also at your times of rejoicing, your appointed festivals, the new moon feasts, you are to sound the trumpets over your burnt offerings and fellowship offerings, and they will be a memorial for you before your God. I am the Lord your God." First approach to the promised land. As the Israelites approached the promised land, Moses sent leaders to scout out the land and its people. But the scouts returned with a discouraging report. Only Joshua and Caleb wanted to proceed. But the Israelites had already made up their minds and began to complain. As punishment for their lack of faith, God condemned them to water in the wilderness for 40 years. Our obedience must be complete and timely. The people complain. The Israelites leave Sinai? I don't know. On the 12th day of the second month of the second year, the cloud lifted from above the tabernacle, the covenant law. Then the Israelites set out from the desert of Sinai and traveled from place to place until the cloud came to a rest in the desert of Paran. They set out the first time at the Lord's command through Moses. The divisions of the camp of Judah went first under the standard. Nahshon, son of Amminadab, was in command. Nathaniel, son of Zuar, was over the division of the tribe of Issachar. And Elab, the son of Helon, was over the division of the tribe of Zebulun. Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the Gershonites and Merarites who carried it set out. The divisions of the camp of Reuben went next under their standard. Elazar, son of Shadar, was in command. Shelumiel, son of Zereshadai, was over the division of the tribe of Simeon. And Elisaph, son of Duel, was over the division of the tribe of Gad. Then the Kohites set out carrying the holy things. The tabernacle was to be set up before they arrived. The divisions of the camp of Ephraim went next under their standard. Elishama, son of Ammihud, was in command. Gamaliel, son of Pedazur, was over the division of the tribe of Manasseh. And Abidan, son of Gideoni, was over the division of the tribe of Benjamin. Finally, as the rear guard for all the units, the divisions of camp of Dan set out under their standard. Ahizir, son of Amishadi, was in command. Pagiel, son of Akram, was over the division of the tribe of Asher. And Ahira, son of Anan, was over the division of the tribe of Naphtali. This was the order for march for the Israelite divisions as they set out. Now Moses said to Hobab, son of Reuel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, "We are setting out for the place about which the Lord said, 'I will give it to you.' Come with us, and we will treat you well, for the Lord has promised good things to Israel." He answered, "No, I will not go. I am going back to my own land and my own people." But Moses said, "Please do not leave us. You know where we should camp in the wilderness, and you can be our eyes. If you come with us, we will share with you whatever good things the Lord gives us." So they set out from the mountain of the Lord and traveled for 3 days. The ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them during those 3 days to find them a place to rest. The cloud of the Lord was over them by day when they set out from the camp. Whenever the ark set out, Moses said, "Rise up, Lord. May your enemies be scattered. May your foes flee before you." Whenever it came to rest, he said, "Return, Lord, to the countless thousands of Israel. And that is the end of Numbers 10. Ooh, exactly at 5 minutes. Wow. Now we're going to go to Numbers 11. Fire from the Lord. Now the people complained about their hardships in the hearing of the Lord. And when he heard from, his anger was aroused. And fire from the Lord burned around them and consumed some of the outskirts of the camp. When the people cried out to Moses, he prayed to the Lord, but the fire died down. So that place was called Taberah, because fire from the Lord had burned among them. Quail from the Lord. The rabble with them began to crave other food. And again the Israelites started wailing and said, "If we only had meat to eat. We remember the fish we ate in Egypt, and at no cost. Also, the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. But now we have lost our appetite. We never see anything but this manna." The manna was like coriander seed and looked like resin. The people went around gathering it and then ground it into a hand mill or crushed it into mortar. They cooked it in a pot or made it into loaves, and it tasted like something made with olive oil. When the dew settled in the camp at night, the manna also came down. Moses heard the people of every family wailing at the entrance of their tents. The Lord became exceedingly angry, and Moses was troubled. He asked the Lord, "Why have you brought this trouble on your servant? What have I done to displease you that you put the burden of all these people on me? Did I conceive all these people? Did I give them birth? Why do you tell me to carry them in my arms as a nurse carries an infant? To the land you promised an oath to their ancestors. Where can I get meat for all these people? They keep wailing to me, 'Give us meat to eat.' I cannot carry all these people by myself. The burden is too heavy for me. Is this how you're going to treat me? Perhaps go ahead and kill me. If I have found favor in your eyes, do not let me face my own ruin." The Lord said to Moses, "Bring me 70 of Israel's elders, who are known to you as leaders and officials among the people. Have them come to the tent of meeting, that they may stand there with you. I will come down and speak with you there, and I will take some of the power of the Spirit that is on you and put it on them. They will share the burden of the people with you, so that you will not carry it alone. Tell the people, consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow, when you will eat meat. The Lord heard you when you wailed. If only we had meat to eat, we were better off in Egypt. Now the Lord will give you meat, and you will eat it. You will not eat it for just 1 day or 2 days or 5, 10 or 20 days, but for a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils and you loathe it, because you have rejected the Lord who is among you, and you have wailed before him, saying, 'Why did we ever leave Egypt?' But Moses said, 'Here I am among 600,000 men on foot, and you say, I will give them meat to eat for a whole month. Would they have enough if flocks and herds were slaughtered for them? Would they have enough if all the fish in the sea were caught for them?' The Lord answered Moses, 'Is the Lord's arms too short? Now you will see whether or not what I say will come true for you.' So Moses went out and told the people that the Lord had said. He brought together 70 of their elders and had them stand around the tent. Then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke with them. And he took some of the power of the Spirit that was on him and put it on 70 elders. When the Spirit rested on him, they prophesied, but did not do so again. However, 2 men whose names were Eldad and Medad had remained in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but did not go out to the tent. Yet the Spirit also rested on them, and they prophesied in the camp. A young man ran and told Moses, "Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp." Joshua, son of Nun, who had been Moses' aide since you, spoke up and said, "Moses, my Lord, stop them." But Moses replied, "Are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets, and that the Lord would put his Spirit on them." Then Moses and the elders of Israel retreated to the camp. Now a wind went out from the Lord and drove quail in from the sea. It scattered them up to 2 cubits deep all around the camp, as far as a day's walk in any direction. All that day and night, and all the next day, the people went out and gathered quail. No one gathered less than 2 homers. No one gathered less than 10 homers. Then they spread them out all around the camp. But while the meat was still between their teeth, and before it could be consumed, the anger of the Lord burned against the people, and he struck them with a severe plague. Therefore the place was named Kibroth Hattaavah, because there they buried the people who had craved other food. From Kibroth Hattaavah, the people traveled to Hazeroth and stayed there. And that is the end of Numbers 11. And now we're going to go to Psalm 63. The theme here is a desire for God's presence, provision, and protection, no matter where we are. Our desire should be for God because only He satisfies fully. You, God, are my God. Earnestly I seek you. I thirst for you. My whole being longs for you. In a dry and parched land where there is no water, I have seen you in the sanctuary and behold your power and glory, because your love is better than life. My lips will glorify you. I will praise you as long as I live, and in your name I will lift up my hands. I will be fully satisfied as with the richest of foods. With singing lips my mouth will praise you. On my bed I remember you. I think of you through the watches of the night. Because you are my help, I sing in the shadow of your wings. I cling to you. Your right hand upholds me. Those who want to kill me will be destroyed. They will go down to the depths of the earth. They will be given over to the sword and become food for jackals. But the king will rejoice in God. All who swear by God will glorify in him. With the mouths of liars they will be silenced. And that is the end of Psalm 63. We're going to go to John 7 now. Okay. Jesus encounters conflict with the religious leaders. After this, Jesus went around in Galilee. He did not want to go about in Judah because the Jewish leaders there were looking for a way to kill him. But when the Jewish festival of tabernacles was near, Jesus' brothers said to him, "Leave Galilee and go to Judea so that your disciples there may see the works you do. No one who wants to become a public figure acts in secret. Since you're doing these things, show yourself to the world." For even his own brother did not believe in him. Therefore Jesus told them, "My time is not yet here. For you any time will do. This world cannot hate you, but it hates me, because I testify that its works are evil. You go to the festival. I am not going up to this festival because of my time has not yet fully come." After he said this, he stayed in Galilee. Jesus teaches openly at the temple. However, after his brothers had left for the festival, he went also, not publicly, but in secret. Now at the festival, the Jewish leaders were watching for Jesus and asking, "Where is he?" Among the crowd there was a widespread whispering about him. Some said, "He is a good man." Others replied, "No, he deceives people." But no one would say anything publicly about him for fear of the leaders. Okay. Not until halfway through the festival did Jesus go up to the temple courts and begin to teach. The Jews there were amazed, asking, "How does this man get such learning without having been taught?" Jesus answered, "My teaching is not my own. It comes from the one who sent me. Anyone who chooses to do the will of God will find out whether my teaching comes from God or whether I speak of my own. Whoever speaks on their own does so to gain personal glory, but he who seeks the glory of the one who sent him is a man of truth. There is nothing false about him. Has not Moses given you the law? Yet not one of you keeps the law. Why are you trying to kill me?" "You are demon-possessed," the crowd answered. "Who is trying to kill you?" Jesus said to them, "I did one miracle, and you all are amazed. Yet because Moses gave you circumcision, though actually it did not come from Moses, but from the patriarchs, you circumcise a boy on the Sabbath. Now if a boy can be circumcised on the Sabbath so that the law of Moses may not be broken, why are you angry with me for healing a man's whole body on the Sabbath? Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly." At that point, jeez. At that point, some of the people of Jerusalem began to ask, "Isn't this the man they are trying to kill? Here he is speaking publicly, and they are not saying a word to him. Have the authorities really concluded that he is the Messiah? But we know where the man is from. When the Messiah comes, no one will know where he is from." Then Jesus, still teaching in the temple courts, cried out, "Yes, you know me, and you know where I am from. I am not here of my own authority, but he who sent me is true. You do not know him, and I know him because I am from him and he sent me." At this they tried to seize him, but no one laid a hand on him, because his hour had not yet come. Still many in the crowd believed in him, and they said, when the Messiah comes, he will perform more signs than this man. Religious leaders attempt to arrest Jesus. The Pharisees heard the crowd whispering such things about him. Then the chief priests and the Pharisees sent temple guards to arrest him. Jesus said, I am with you for only a short time, and then I am going to the one who sent me. You will look for me, but you will not find me, and where I am you cannot come. The Jews said to one another, where does this man intend to go that we cannot find him? Will he go where our lives lives? Where will he go that we cannot find him? Will he go where our people live scattered among the Greeks and teach the Greeks? What did he mean when he said, you will look for me, but you will not find me, and where I am you cannot come? On the last and greatest day of the festival, Jesus stood and said in a loud voice, let anyone who is thirsty come to me and drink. Whoever believes in me, as Scripture has said, rivers of living water will flow through from within them. By this he meant the Spirit, whom those he believed in were later to receive. Up at that time the Spirit had not been given, since Jesus had not yet been glorified. On hearing his words, some of the people said, surely this man is the prophet. Others said, he is the Messiah. Still others asked, how can the Messiah come from Galilee? Does not Scripture say that the Messiah will come from David's descendants and from Bethlehem, the town where David lived? Thus the people were divided because of Jesus. Some wanted to seize him, but no one had laid a hand on him. Finally, the temple guards went back to the chief priests and the Pharisee, who asked them, why didn't you bring him in? No one ever spoke the way this man does, the guards replied. You mean he has deceived you also? The Pharisees retorted, have any of you rulers or the Pharisees believed in him? No, but this mob that knows nothing of the law, there is a curse on them. Nicodemus, who had been gone to Jesus earlier and who was one of their own numbers, asked, does our law condemn a man without first hearing him to find out what he has been doing? They replied, are you from Galilee too? Look into it, and he will find that a prophet does not come out of Galilee. The earliest manuscripts and many other ancient witnesses do not have John 7:53, 8:11. A few manuscripts include the verses wholly or in part after John 7:36. Okay, so apparently some are missing. All right, well, that is the end of John 7 for today. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go do Proverbs now, and that'll be in another folder. Have a great day, everyone.